Coming up next, I'll tell you how you'll never win if you don't have this mindset, and then the most important leadership skill according to new research. And we're going to take your calls, of course, and it all starts right now. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. We're coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville, and you joined a conversation about your purpose, what you were born to do. And that includes work. Work is not a four-letter word that just gives you a paycheck. Work is something you were created to do. Think of it as a very unique contribution that is very much needed, so you have to do it. That's the entire premise of the show. And I think you know that deep down. Even the most cynical that are watching right now, those of you that feel beat down, like, hey, there's no way I'll figure it out. Or if I do figure out what it is I'm supposed to do, Ken, I don't have the time or the money to get there. Well, that's not true. And I can help you, and I'm dedicated to be your guide up to your professional pinnacle. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. It's toll free. If you don't call today, but you want to call in the future, Monday through Friday from 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time, 844-747-2577. We'll change your name. We'll change your location if you're in a pretty toxic or really, really unhealthy situation or super sensitive situation. We'll do that for you because we want you to feel free to be able to get the clarity you need to be able to move forward. So welcome, one and all. Let's get right to it. Let's get to some teaching today. This mindset is absolutely, I'm going to talk about this simple little mindset, just focusing on two things, is so important on the outset of your journey that if you don't get it right, you cut your chances of succeeding, of being who you were created to be, I think, over in half. It's just going to put you behind the eight ball. It's going to make it so much more difficult because you'll waste so much time and so much energy due to the distraction and the discouragement. So I like to call it the mind for the climb. This is a journey, the 7 stages. Get clear, stage 1. Get qualified, stage 2. Get connected, stage 3. Get started, stage 4. Get promoted, stage 5. Get the dream job, stage 6. Give yourself away, stage 7. Climbing that mountain to the professional pinnacle. It takes time. It's going to be difficult. And mindset is everything. The mind for the climb. What is that mindset? 2 things. I'll list them and then we'll break them down. Number 1, focus on the positive. And number 2, focus on finishing. Number 1, focus on the positive. I'm actually going to do something I rarely do. I don't read from books on this show. I might start doing so. We might just do that, Alex. Maybe I'll do a little book excerpt, and it's Ken's book excerpts, right? And I read stuff. But this is from my book, the brand new book from Paycheck to Purpose, where we address this specifically. And I just want to read just a short passage. I'm not even going to read it. I'm just looking in the book to teach it. So here it is. Biologists call this idea the positive feedback loop. It's when one person does something positive, and as a result, other people are influenced to do something positive. All right, so let me give you a quick example. How many of you have ever gone through the drive-thru and you're feeling pretty good and you decided to pay for the car behind you? All right, or maybe you came through the drive-thru and the person said, hey, the car in front of you has purchased your meal. Now, if you have even 10% of a normal heart, you're going to go, oh, that's really nice. Well, yeah, let me buy the person behind me, right? And it creates this really nice chain. That's the positive feedback loop. But it's actually in biology, and this is from the book. I didn't know this until we did research on this. They see this in nature in that there is one apple on an apple tree that ripens first. And that's where the idea of the good apple comes from. The first apple on the apple tree ripens, and here's what happens. It's scientific. As the first apple ripens, it emits ethylene gas through its skin, and the nearby apples start cooking with the same gas, so to speak, almost overnight. the tree will be bursting with fruit that's ready for the picking. Focusing on the positive. In this journey, there's going to be rejection, there's going to be doubt, there's going to be fear, there's going to be setbacks. And yet in all of that, there are positives that you can see and you must grab onto. You must seize the positive, not just see it, seize it. And here's what happens. Just as I explained the positive feedback loop among humans or among fruit and nature, when you grab that, it'll feed your soul and it keeps you coming back the next day. Number 2, focus on finishing. I've only run one half marathon. I'm never going to run again. I've told you folks, if you're new to the program, I got challenged to do a half marathon in Nashville 4 or 5 years ago now, 4 years. And I trained hard. I had 12 weeks to get ready. I trained hard. And so I really went after it, and I began to experience what I've heard from a lot of runners. They call it the second wind, and it's a thing. And I've experienced it. And I was struggling with cramps on the day of and really struggling. But I got in that last 2 miles, and even through cramps and pain, my pace picked up. Why? I started focusing on the finish. Every serious runner can tell you this, that there's usually a halfway point. Sometimes it's 3/4 of the way through. The body's suffering, the mind is suffering, and then you go from, well, I'm trying to get halfway, or I'm now halfway, or wherever, and you begin to see the finish. You begin to focus on the finish, and it is the focus on the finish that brings the second wind. And I'm telling you, in this context, on this journey to purpose, you will need to summon many second winds. And the way you do it is by never letting your eyes off of the finish, the mountaintop. I'm here on the mountain. I'm trying to go there, but while I'm here, I'm gazing up constantly. I'm focused here, yes, but I'm gazing up a lot. Why? I want to keep my focus on the prize, eyes on the prize. Here's what happens. The second winds will keep coming many times daily. So the mind for the climb is about focusing on the positive, even in the midst of the negative. And then number 2, focusing on the finish. If you do that, you'll have all the staying power. You'll have it. But you better have the right mindset, because this is about the pursuit of meaningful work, and it's going to be easy. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. We'll get to the phones in just a second. This is a good time to mention, if you're new to the program, the book that I have written that takes care of the entire philosophy and methodology that you hear on this show. The 7 stages unpacked. The new book is From Paycheck to Purpose. We want you to have the paycheck, the income, but we want you to have purpose in your work, meaning, impact. Income and impact. Is it possible for you? Yes. Even if you don't have a big fancy dream. Is it for you? Yes. From Paycheck to Purpose. Comes out November 9th. It unpacks the 7 stages that I outlined just moments ago. You can pre-order it right now and get all kinds of goodies. KenColeman.com. If you get it now for $20, one price, you get the physical copy, the ebook, and the audio book, plus my Get Hired course, plus a free ticket to the From Paycheck to Purpose live stream event coming up later this fall, and so much more. Almost $200 worth of stuff. Go to KenColeman.com and pre-order it right now. There's also a bundle for $30 where you get all that stuff, plus my Get Clear career assessment for just $10. That's the $30 product in and of itself. So there you go. I'm proud of this book. This is going to help a lot of people. And so if you want to know, Ken, how do I walk away from the show and have the same kind of encouragement, this book will do that. All right, let's get to the phones. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where we go. Jim is on the line. Jim, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Oh, hi, Ken. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.
I'm a small business owner in a relatively smallish community, and I service businesses, and from all of these businesses that I'm going to, it's the never-ending story of we don't have enough labor, we don't have enough labor, we don't have enough labor. Yeah. And there's and I only work I only work days, Monday through Friday. So I have all my nights and weekends free, which is the way I like my life. But I was considering helping some of my best customers who are kind of friends. I was considering actually working for them and helping them out. But before I did that, I'm concerned about what the perception might be for my business in my community if people would look at me and say, oh, is he in trouble because he's working a second job? So I thought I'd ask what you think.
That's interesting. You can't control that. So on one hand, you could say, well, if I'm really concerned that other people are going to go, oh, what's wrong with Jim? Jim must be really suffering if he's out working a second job. If that's a huge concern of yours, it's going to be hard to get over that because you can't control that. If somebody sees you, the only way you can control that, which I'm pretty sure you don't want to do, is go, hey, I'm working this job to help my customers because they're really good. Like, nobody wants to hear all that, and you're not going to give that explanation every time.
Right.
So what this comes down to is if that's a big, huge concern of yours, you either address that and go, okay, I don't want that to be the perception, so I'm not going to do it. I think that's going to hurt me in some way. I don't know how it hurts you if you're still taking really good care of your customers and your business is thriving. It depends on who you're worried about thinking that. But again, you can't control that. So you have to decide, is that a big deal? Or is that just me and I need to get over it? Because this comes down to that or your heart. So this is a head and heart thing. Your head is going, oh, I'm insecure about what people are going to think about me and I don't want my reputation tarnished. That's your head. And your heart's going, I really want to help some of my customers.
Right.
So you can't control the first one other than not doing it.
Right.
To be fair, if you don't go to work for your customers, then there's no chance that somebody's going to go, oh, Jim's struggling right now. On the other hand, how many people are we talking about that would see you? You've clearly run this out in your head. So what are we talking about?
Well, I'm pretty involved in the community, so my wife and I are very well known throughout our community. It's probably a couple hundred people who would recognize me.
Well, what if you went on social media and told everybody, hey, you know what? My wife and I have talked about this, and this is a need in our community. Small business owners and some of my customers are having a hard time getting people, and I've decided for a season I'm going to go to work and help them. What if you make a big announcement out of it?
So simple, and I never thought about that. So I think that's probably the way that I might go.
I think
I
that's
just go ahead and get in front of it.
You're controlling the narrative.
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. All right, good. I'm glad I just came up with that one too. I was thinking through this. I understand exactly where you're at on that, but I wouldn't worry about it is my point. I think you doing good ends up being great. It's going to be great for you. Anytime you give yourself away like this, and you are, and they're going to pay you, I guess. But the point is, you're doing a really good thing. Be a leader. Put it out there. So go for it. Document it, by the way.
Yeah.
Document it. Have fun with it. Are you considering doing this for multiple businesses? Like I'm going to work for 6 weeks for this guy, and then I'm going to do 6 weeks for this gal. I mean, is that where your head's at, or what?
Well, that's originally where my head was at.
Then make it a journey.
Well, but I realized that a lot of them might be better off if they hire someone who's going to be around for a longer period of time.
Got it. Okay, so whatever you decide, I would turn it into a community thing and have some fun with it. You know?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, second job on purpose. Come up with a fun hashtag. I don't know. I'm not very good at that, but you got it. So, Jim, you're a good dude, by the way, man. Can I just tell you?
No,
thanks. Seriously. You this entire mindset and heart that you've got to help your fellow small business owners and customers, man. Let me tell you something. You're a good dude, man. Dude, you're just a good man. Pay it forward, brother. I love it. Let's go to Salt Lake City next. Matt joins us there. Matt, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Matt. What's up?
So I'm a data scientist, data analyst. I'm working on climbing a ladder, and I think I might have an opportunity to take a job that I think would be a good step up in that process.
Okay.
The trouble is I have a few kind of timing issues that are making me wonder if maybe it's not the right time, and I'm struggling just to tell if
Great.
if those are true or not.
Okay, let's walk through them. So just hit me with everything we're looking at. What are the timing things you're worried about?
Okay. Well, so the first one, I'm 24. I graduated in 2020, and this role would be, it might be too much too soon. It would be a pretty high responsibility in a company, basically just the lead data person for
Okay, hold on a second.
Their insight there.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to pause so that I can stay on top of this. You've been offered the position already, or it could be coming to you?
No, it could be. I have.
Okay.
I was referred through my father-in-law who works there. They really like him, and it sounds like it's
okay. All right.
So I'm pretty likely I could get off.
Okay, great. And so you think it's too much too soon, which, if I'm hearing you correctly, sounds like you got some doubt there, some imposter syndrome going on.
That's definitely it, and
okay. So is it true?
Kind of hard with everything to parse it out.
Hold on, is it true? Do you think you can do the job? This is not a time to be humble. You and I are having a conversation here. So, do you think you can do the job?
I think I have the talent for it. Yeah.
Okay.
And most of the training, I just don't have a ton of experience.
Doesn't matter. If they offer you the gig and you believe you have the talent, then it's presumable that they're going to train you, yes?
No.
Okay.
In this case, there's no one
here's the deal.
To train. They're creating a new one.
Okay, here's the deal. Go through the interview process, and in the interview process, ask all of the questions that you know that you'll need to ask to truly figure out whether or not you can do the job with the skill set you have. So skill is there, experience is not. That's a legitimate concern that you have. But it should not in any way prevent you from walking this thing all the way through. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So don't overthink it right now. We don't know. First of all, we don't know if we've been offered. We don't know. But let's go through it and go, okay, listen, I know I've got the talent. Let them make the decision. Right?
Okay.
If you've got the talent and they've got the training or the patience, then what are we worried about? That's what you've got to do. You got to hit the stuff head on. Okay, what else? So that's one of your timing things. I'm only 24. Well, that's not timing. That's straight up doubt. Welcome to the party, brother. Dave Ramsey gave me this show. Listen to me. Dave Ramsey gave me this show. I was 6 months into being a Ramsey personality. I'm still working on my content and methodology. I'd never coached people live on the radio, ever. Matt, he said, you're going to be live in front of me every day. Don't you think I had some doubt?
It makes sense that would happen. Yeah.
Well, you know what I did? I saddled up anyway. All right, what's the next timing thing? You said there were two.
Just the only other couple are the time that they would need to hire me is about the same time that my wife and I will have our second child. And so it would just be a lot going on to try and juggle.
Welcome to life. That doesn't concern me at all. And I'm not dismissing your feelings.
Okay.
Well, dude, you ain't the mom, all right? Let's just be honest. Your wife is carrying a heavy load there, and you can help at night, and you can take some feedings and go to sleep. Go to work a little sleepy for a little while. Big deal. You got this. I got 3 kids, so you're talking to the wrong guy on that. You know what I mean? Like, just welcome to the dance, man. Having multiple
kids. Sounds like the
kids.
right guy then.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I'm telling you, you can do it. You understand what I'm saying? You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. The timing of that doesn't bother me at all. What else? Real quick.
And the last one's probably more of a how to do it, but I just recently started another job at beginning of August, and they've been really good, and it's been a good job. It's just not
be a nice guy.
Doing the kind of work I want to do.
Yeah, be a nice guy and be classy. You are both of those things. It's very obvious to me that you're a top-notch dude. Lots of character, lots of integrity. So don't blow the bridge up, which you never would. Go in there and say, hey, guys, I'm sorry to do this. You guys have been great to me, and I am really grateful. But I got an amazing opportunity that I just got to take. And I want to finish well. How can I help with the transition? That's the spirit. You can say that however you want to say it, but that's the spirit of what you're going to say. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And don't feel guilty about it, Matt. you don't feel guilty. I mean, if you were and you saw a coworker come in and do it, would you be happy for your coworker if they handled it that way? Or when they left, would you go, boy, he's a real sleazeball? What would you say?
No, I'm totally happy for them when they can move to something better.
All right, then. So the same standard for other people has to be the standard for you. You're not a sleazeball for taking a better opportunity. I know you've not been there long. I get it. But you know what? This is the reality of which we are in these days, certainly in the Great Resignation. And you've got an opportunity that if you feel like it is the opportunity right now, it moves you up the ladder significantly or places you on the right ladder for significant promotions to eventually step into the dream job, then you're in stage 5. You're about ready to walk into stage 5, or you're still in stage 5. You're getting promoted, and you're going to keep getting promoted until you get the dream job. You tracking with me?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a lot clearer.
You got this, Matt. Go for it, man. I'm proud of you. That is so fun. You know what? There's a lot of Matts out there who they know there's something else. They don't have the offer yet, and you're holding back a little bit. You're going, I don't know, Ken. I know it's the Great Resignation, and I know that a lot of people are moving, and I know that there's so many jobs out there. I know. But you know what I also know, Ken? It's a pain in the butt to search for a job. Multiple resumes, times 10. I got to fill out a new one all the time. I don't hear anything back. It just feels like suck and yuck. I get it. And that's why I endorse ZipRecruiter. They're the #1 rated job site in the U.S. This is a free service to you folks. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's super easy. You go online to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, fill out a profile. It's a one-click process. In that the minute you get that profile submitted, they start shopping your resume to companies that have jobs that fit your profile. You get updates every time somebody looks at your profile, gives you a thumbs up, and asks for your contact info because ZipRecruiter allows their companies that have jobs to contact you directly. It is the best way to get hired. It's free. Sign up today, ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right, quick break. When we come back, those of you that want to get promoted, or those of you who've been promoted recently into a leadership position, I got some breaking data for you. The most important leadership skill coming up.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we are shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. We are coming to you live if you're watching right now at 12:23 Eastern Standard Time. Thrilled to have you with us. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. KenColeman.com, the website for a ton of resources that are free. And then, of course, we have our store where you can get all kinds of goodies, including the brand new Get Clear Career Assessment, a 15-minute, maybe 20 if you really take your time, and that's not a bad thing, assessment that will help you fill out your purpose statement, what you do best, talent, what you love to do most, passion, and results that matter most to you, mission, and points you to the marketplace to give you ideas, and then you can call in with those results, and we can really go to the next level. All right, it's time for In the News. Forbes magazine put out an article with some new research, and turns out that this isn't really breaking news, but according to new research, not shocking, empathy, understanding the plight of others, understanding the feelings of others, understanding the emotions, the thoughts, the realities of others. Empathy is the most important leadership skill. Why? Let's do a quick snapshot of where we sit, almost the state of workers in the United States, and I think this probably holds around the globe. A study by Qualtrics found that 42% of people have experienced a decline in their mental health recently at work. 67% of people are experiencing increases in stress, while 57% have increased anxiety. 54% are emotionally exhausted. 53% of people are sad. 50% are irritable. 28% are having trouble concentrating. 20% are taking longer to finish tasks. The list keeps going. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. We're talking about stress at work, all those things affecting our sleep. No shock there. We've talked about on this show. So here is where this empathy becomes all important. With that context, this is, that's the menu of the mental and emotional state of workers in America. That's the context. So empathy becomes so huge because of all those things. As a leader, your team is experiencing those things. And if you have your head in the sand, meaning A, you don't even know, but if you know and you're not sitting with them knee to knee, eyeball to eyeball going, hey, how you feeling? What are you experiencing? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I understand that. I'm doing everything I can on this. Here's what we're going to do. That's the empathy. Here's what happens when empathy is consistently applied from the leader and it's experienced by the team. Innovation spikes. 61% were likely to report that they were able to be innovative in solving a problem that their leader was empathetic about. That's phenomenal. Engagement. 76% of people who experienced empathy from their leaders reported they were engaged, compared with only 32% who experienced less empathy. Retention. 57% of white women and 62% of women of color said they were unlikely to think of leaving their companies when they felt their life circumstances, hello, moms, were respected and valued by their companies. Work life. When people felt their leaders were more empathetic, 86% reported they were able to navigate the demands of their work and life. So all of this leads to one big giant conclusion. Hey, leaders, your people, your team will rise above the challenges if they just feel like you understand what they're facing. Just listen and go, I get it. I'm so sorry. It stinks. If it's a personal thing and something they're dealing with at home that you have probably very little that you can do about, walking with them emotionally, listening to them, encouraging them, game changer. Now that personal problem, which can completely derail a person for an entire day, week, month, you know this, all of a sudden, you gave them a little bit of lift, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that the rain is going to pass. And now their engagement jumps. We just saw that. They get innovative on a problem that they feel like they're ready to pull their hair out at work. They come to you, leader, and you sit and listen to them and go, I'm so sorry. I know right now that we're down 3 people. I know that this is down. Traffic's down. This is down. And I know that's squeezing you. And I am sorry. I can't do anything about it now, but here's the deal. It's going to cycle out. We believe that. Here's what we're working on. I get it. It stinks. I'm rolling up my sleeves too, and I'm there for you. Come talk to me again if you're feeling fried. They could walk out of there and get innovative because all of a sudden they feel heard. They feel understood. They feel valued. That's what we're talking about here. Those are 2 examples of how empathy is a superpower for leaders. Now, I talk about leadership issues on this show because if you look at the 5 stages, get clear, get qualified, get started, get connected. Get connected, get started, get promoted at stage 5. And if you're going to get promoted, many times you're going to be in leadership. In fact, most times you get promoted, you will be in some management or leadership level. And let me tell you something, that's a scary, intimidating thing. I know it. But you don't have to have this master's degree in leadership studies. You don't have to have read 50 leadership books. At the core, you can be empathetic. And if that, which the research shows, and I believe it, is the most valued leadership skill, which, by the way, you can develop that and grow that and enhance that. If that is, in fact, the leadership superpower. You're going to be okay if you just empathize with people. Good stuff there from Forbes. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Let's do another call here. Let's go back to the phones. Mike joins us now in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mike, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. How are you today?
Mike, I'm living the dream. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I'm actually pretty excited to talk to you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you because we got something to do here today. You got a dream job. You got a unique role you got to fill, and I want to help. What's going on there?
All right, so I'll make this story quick. 3 years ago, I kind of fell into my current career, which is IT.
Okay.
And I don't love it, but I tolerate it enough, and I just look at it like my wife and I, we literally just bought our first house, and we're moving on Saturday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we're looking to start a family in the next year. So responsibly, I said, okay, I can't leave IT right now. So I guess my question for you is, how do I don't know what path I want to do in IT. Like, I looked at being like networking. It made no sense to me. Cybersecurity was, it wasn't really as interesting as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to find my path because I don't want to keep hopping from crummy help desk job to crummy help desk job to crummy help desk job.
Well, let's dream for a minute.
Okay.
What is a pinnacle? I'm talking like blow your mind gig. Is it in technology? Is it in a different field? If it is in technology, what is it? Give me an idea. I just can't believe that you haven't wondered about something that truly would fit the category, at least in your mind right now, of a dream job. And then you and I can put that on trial. So what are we talking about here?
Well, the thing is, I hate to say it, I had my dream job at one point. Like, I'm originally from Long Island, New York.
Okay.
And I was working as a personal trainer. I lost a bunch of weight and got really into fitness.
Good for you.
And thank you. Yeah. And, what had happened was people were asking me, why didn't you just go back to personal training? I said, there's not a whole lot of money in it. There's no health insurance, and my wife owns her own business, so she can't have health insurance. And
all right, hold on. Hold on. All right,
yeah.
I'm cutting you off on purpose. I know I interrupted you, but that's my job as the coach, right? You made a false statement, and you didn't mean to make a false statement, but it is your belief. It's all whacked. You said you can't make good money being a personal trainer. That's categorically false.
Okay.
You can make good money. You know it.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, he actually... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ken.
No. I want you to say what you were about to say. It's actually going to give me more ammunition on what I'm trying to tell you. What about your brother-in-law?
He works as a trainer, and he actually makes a lot of money.
Whoa, wait a second. You just told me 2 minutes ago that you can't make good money, and now your brother-in-law, what's going on? I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
What you should have said to me is what you really believe, and that's this. I can't make really good money. I don't believe that I can make really good money as a trainer. That's what you meant to say. Am I right?
Yeah.
I know. So here's the deal. You can't say that I can't make the money when your brother-in-law is killing it. What's great about the brother-in-law is you do not need to compare yourself to him. That would be cancerous, and that's no good. But you must get to this reality that, wait a second, if I do the right things for the right amount of time and I do not quit, I can make plenty of money doing my dream job. That is a true statement. Do you believe that?
See, the thing is, I want to believe that.
Okay, then tell me why you don't believe it, because you know it's true, but you don't believe it. So tell me why.
I don't know. I guess it's just because, I don't know. It's just like I've always been like the responsible one, where it's like, well, and I grew up like, it's like, well, you hate your job, well, too bad. Just go work because you got bills to pay. And
Wait a second.
Just the thought of like.
Wait a second.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know, dude. I'm cutting you off because this is like turning into Eeyore stuff, and I just like you too much to let you do this. You're a freaking former trainer. What if you were training me, and I started doing upper body, and I quit halfway through, and you go, what's wrong? Why didn't you finish the reps? You got 4. You're supposed to do 8. And I said to you, well, listen, man, I've always been, just kind of the safe guy. I don't want to pull a muscle. I just want to be careful. And I don't want to be great. I don't want to be in really tip-top shape. I just kind of want to be safe, man. Can I do 4 reps instead of 8? What would you say to me?
I'd be like, all right, I guess we're done. You have a great day.
Oh, wow, that's intense. I'm not going to hang up on you. You'd quit on me. I'm not going to hang up on you.
No. I wouldn't say that. I would just be like, all right, if you don't feel like you can do it, then don't waste my time.
Right.
Go find somebody else who won't push you.
Right. And so I'm telling you, I'm going to push you today because you're making all these mealy-mouthed things like you've got to go into debt and build a gym with no business. No, get back to being a personal trainer. You were doing it before. How much money were you making at that time?
Probably $30,000 a year.
Okay, and how much do you make now?
$41,000 a year.
How much would you really like to make?
Oh, man, probably $60,000 a year.
How much does your brother-in-law make?
$100,000 a year.
All right, then. What has to be true for you to get to 60 and then eventually get to 100? What has to be true?
Just got to push myself.
Yeah. You got to, first of all, get back in the game. And if you got to work a second job for a while until you build your clientele up, do it. But you're not going to go into debt. You're not going to do anything risky. So this, I've always been the safe one, bull crap, isn't going to cut it. By the way, can I just coach you on being a trainer? I didn't like your answer. What I want you to say to me in that scenario is, hey, Ken, why are you here? You're going to do 8 reps. And you're going to do it until you love doing 8 reps because that's what you hired me to do. Now get back down on the bench and give me 4 more. That's what I want to hear from you, the trainer.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I know.
You're 100% right.
I know. So here's the deal. You need to figure out how to get back in. You've already done this before. It was your dream job. You know how to get there. You don't need any advice from me on that. Get in. Change your lifestyle, work a second job so that we keep the 41,000 up, and you don't quit, and you build it, and you call the brother-in-law and go, hey, what are 5 things you think I need to do to be more successful? Talk to some other successful trainers. This is not rocket science, man. Now, I want to hear back from you in the future. You hear me? I want you to call this show, and I want you to call me when you're back in it, and you've replaced your current $41,000, you're there and you're on your way to 60. Do you hear me?
You got it.
And I'm telling you, if you get off this phone and later tonight you start getting safe again, I want you to hear my voice. You were created to fill a unique role. You were needed and you must do it. You lost a ton of weight. You've got a story to tell that could literally change the life of others. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Then don't you forget that why. Thanks for the call. All right. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. I believe that every man and woman that listens or watches this show was created to fill a unique role. I just do. And you're not going to talk me out of it. And if you call this program and you're willing to do what Mike just did and own your doubts and own your fear, then you can get this. But we've got to own it. And we've got to be transparent. We got to be vulnerable. And then we can move through it. So I really, really love that call with Mike. I was in the dream job, but I'm not anymore. I'm just never going to accept that. So don't call this show and think that I'm going to be like, it's okay. You don't have to do it. I just don't know. You have to do it. Mike has to do it. So there you go. All right. My time's almost up. But before I go, remember this, you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.